Hey guys, let's start this lesson by inking the sketch and let's finish it by coloring the drawing. Remember what we did before? That's it. Reduce the opacity of the sketch layer and create a new one for the inking. Use the same brush as well, but this time set opacity at 100%. This way we'll get thicker and darker strokes. In addition, this brush has a sort of flow. What does it mean? That depending on the pressure applied, the stroke will be darker or grayer and create a special and cool effect. And it won't look that opaque. However, you can use the brush you like the most. You don't have to use the one I'm using. I even recommend you to create your own brushes for inking. It's really cool, actually. So you can use either the predetermined brushes of Photoshop, you can create new ones from strokes, or you can download other people's brushes from the internet. So there are many options. The important thing here is that the brush you choose causes the effect you want for your drawing depending on your own style. Okay, now that we are going to ink the second sketch, the woman, we need to have the other sketch close at hand in order to compare and copy the strokes variations in this other sketch. Remember, this is a gender shift, but remember as well that we want to keep the same personality in both of them. The more similar the strokes are, the more similar the sketches will be. Also make sure the inking process is similar as well. It is the same thickness to avoid considerable changes. When failing to keep these characteristics, we'll see it's the same character, but it won't be artistically coherent. However, if you want, it's also possible to play around and try different things and different styles when drawing, inking, and coloring. The important thing, though, is that you keep the most characteristic features in both the sketches. Guys, let me give you a tip for inking the sketch. Rotate the canvas every now and then. Press R to rotate the canvas. It will be easier to ink the sketch this way. Why? Well, if you are working with a graphic tablet or CintiQ, you probably know that the brush stroke change by rotating the canvas, right? I recommend you to spend a lot of time inking the sketch. Ink it carefully and precisely since it will be the final version of your drawing. It's decisive that lines are exactly as you want, which doesn't mean they has to be perfect. You can use a loose stroke or be more precise. It's up to you. What really matters here is you get exactly the effect you are looking for. Getting the expected result will be decisive in the following steps when adding the color, for instance. In order to apply the color, I'll place the reference image right next to the canvas to have a look at it whenever I need it. As you can see, the first we are going to do is add the base color. Be careful and try not to exceed the outline. Great! Now create the clipping masks and use the eyedropper to select the same colors we used in the other sketch. This step is important in order to work with the same colors. Obviously, you can pick the color intuitively, but you won't be precise. But you can do it that way if you are not interested in using exactly the same colors. However, if you want to develop the same character, make sure you use the same colors. We also applied gradients in the previous sketch, so be careful when using the eyedropper to avoid copying a darker tone than the original or the other way around. Keep this in mind, although you can also open up the other file, remove the gradients, and use the original tone. It's up to you, but make sure you don't use a different color. Once you've finished applying the base color, let's begin adding the gradients. Remember, you'll find the gradient tool in the panel on the right. So click on the button and hold it until the gradient tool appears. Set the gradient to around 20% or 30%. Select the tones you used before, more or less, to create the gradient and apply it to the areas. Lock the layers first. And lastly, add color to the line. Select the lines layer and lock the pixels. Just select the same colors you used before for the line and apply them to the new sketch. Great, so our sketch is ready. Now we can compare the male and female characters and you'll see they are quite similar. The only difference is the gender. In the next lesson, I'm going to present the characters and talk about them briefly. Guys, I really hope that you liked this lesson and that you learned a lot. See you in the last video.